Ooh. Can you hear something?
Are we on?
Yeah. Can you hear it?
Kinda. It might have to be turned up because I'm not taking my hat off.
Okay.
You're
You're
okay?
pretty... Okay.
Am I up a lot already?
Yeah, but I'll just boost it.
That's
How's
better.
that? Better?
Yeah, that's good.
Better?
What is that noise?
This?
Oh, yeah. Weird. I never heard that before.
Metallic.
Okay. All right.
Let's see. All systems are go.
I think so.
I got to turn this up a little bit. There we go.
We have such a casual start to our show.
Just so we can
Like,
all
we just turn it on and then
relax.
just keep screwing around like the way that we do.
Right. It's relaxing. I mean,
I'm
the whole...
sorry, you guys. I have a really bad cough, so I will be coughing a bunch. I know it's rude, but I skipped out. I had, like, a couple weeks ago, I missed, didn't I? Because I was sick, and then it went away.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it kind of, like, came back or something. I don't know. I was outside all day yesterday. It wasn't a cold day, but I was wet and just chilled by the time it was over. And then I started getting a fever and then coughing again.
Is that because of all your sheep?
Yes.
Your sheep activities?
Yes.
You had a lot of baby sheep this
Yes.
week.
Well, no, not a lot, but 3.
That's a lot.
And they were all right in a row, and I was by myself, and I pulled one out, but...
How is that by yourself? I mean, without
I got
John?
really mad at John because I said, you know what, you're being a crummy farmer because, yeah, like, I kind of know how to do this stuff, but, like, we're unprepared. Like,
Yeah,
the pens aren't ready for more babies. We have no, like, colostrum or milk supplement in case there's an emergency and I have to feed one.
Yeah.
And that was a problem because we had an emergency yesterday. I did have to feed one and we had nothing to feed it. And so I had to, like, make up this ridiculous mixture of stuff that probably wasn't very good for it, but I just had to get some calories into it because it was cold and needed to eat.
How'd you figure it out?
I just, like, you have to only give them, like, the lamb powder. You can give them cow's milk, but it has to be whole cow's milk, and all we had was, like, skim or whatever because I don't like whole milk.
Yeah.
But I noticed John had some, like, heavy whipping cream in the back, so I mixed, like, whipping cream with skim milk, and then I found some, like, powdered electrolytes somewhere and poured that into it, and, like, then they wouldn't eat it anyway.
That's a concoction.
Yeah, it was bad.
Interesting.
But the mom sheep was, like, a first timer, and she had such tiny little udder that the lambs couldn't find it. So they couldn't eat, and I had to have my friend Lisa come over so we could flip her over and I, like, shear all around it so they could find it better. But it was still so tiny, and then it was bleeding, like we were milking her and it was bleeding instead of milk, and I was like, oh, that's not good. So hence the scrambling for lamb food.
I see. And then John came home.
No, very, very late. They've been doing this. There's been just debates and debates and debates on the abortion bill, the H-47 thing, and it's just gone late. Luckily, Eli has been texting me saying, oh, God, Mom, I think it's going to go till 10 o'clock, they're saying, and luckily it's only gone until, like, 8, but, oh, my God.
Yeah. But does he check on everything when he gets back? Like, does he go out to the barn?
Yeah.
I mean, I would think he just would want to, because that's the way he is.
He's just been a farmer for so long, though, and
Yeah.
I'm complaining, and I'm like, look, okay, you can't just ditch me with all these, like, issues where I don't know what to do, and we don't have all the stuff, like, prepared. And he was like, look, no, it's no big deal. Just leave them, like, and I'll deal with it when I get home. And I'm like, no, they're going to die. Like, I don't know. He's just been he's very, very empathetic about animals, but sometimes just being a farmer for so long, he's just like, so we lose a couple lambs. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like, I can't. If I wasn't doing everything to keep the lambs alive, I would be like horrified with myself. Like,
yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. Understandable.
Anyhow.
Well, you did good.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
You did fantastic.
Well, they're alive. But.
Yeah. Yeah. My biggest issue this week was probably running out of half and half.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, you and I were sort of in the same boat.
Well, we were.
Except
We were
probably
struggling.
your nipples weren't
struggling.
bleeding and
no,
etc.
No. Yeah. See, I have half and half.
I might be feverish, so the things that I say, just don't hold them against me.
Well, I never do hold them
Good.
against you. I never in a court of law, I don't think any of our information could really stand up to scrutiny. So hopefully nobody's scrutinizing it.
No scrutinizing people.
Yeah. Yep. So had to resort to Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie ice cream.
That's a perfectly fine substitute.
It's not good for tea. I mean, it's good.
Tea?
It's good for coffee.
Hey, I just read that you're not supposed to put any dairy into tea, even though a lot of people like to put milk in their tea.
I do.
It said in this article that the proteins in dairy don't let you process the beneficial herbs and things in tea. They just wash it right out of you. What you want to put in your tea is a squeeze of lemon. That actually boosts the antioxidant qualities of your tea. So they said people should start to try to wean themselves off of putting dairy.
Was that presented by like the Citrus Association?
No, I don't remember. It was just
everything
online.
Every information.
No, it was on the radio.
Yeah.
It was some radio show that I was actually listening to for once.
Everything is supported by some industry. Science is supported by some corporate interest. So it's very hard to trust what you hear.
I'm pretty okay with most science.
Really?
I mean, not all of it, but a lot of it. It's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, except there's a lot of conflicting science. That's the problem because it's coming from different people.
You have to
different
look at
interests.
where your science is coming from. And you have to say, what's in it for this
Most
person?
people don't.
Right. And then you have to weigh that sort of.
Okay. All right.
You got to look across the board and figure out and just try to find a happy medium, I think. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. What else do you know?
I know nothing. I know nothing. All I know is like, I can't do all the, people keep telling me how to get rid of this cold, and I literally can't do the things that they're telling me to do.
Like what?
They're like, eat a raw onion. No, can't do it. I would just throw up profusely. I couldn't eat a raw onion on my best day. Can't eat onions. Hate them.
Right.
Like, I'd rather be sick for 100 years. I can't get it into my mouth. I have a very, very sensitive taste buds. I am really picky and like, just things taste way stronger to me than other people.
Right.
So everyone's like, do this, do that, drink the fire cider. Doesn't fire cider sponsor Courtney's show? I cannot get that stuff in my mouth. It's just crazy tasting.
Huh. What's in it?
Like everything bad in the whole world, like vinegar and cayenne pepper and like kombucha or something, which I don't understand. My sister loves kombucha. She just drinks it like all the time, but it's got like this big slimy gob of snot in it, and that's like totally fine.
Which sister?
Myra.
Okay. I would have expected that.
Yeah. Jen actually does take a shot of apple cider vinegar every day, and she says it keeps her healthy. I can't even eat pickles. Like, I can't get that in my mouth. I can't even eat salt and vinegar chips because, like, you inhale that, like, vinegar, and it makes me choke.
Yeah.
So I can't get rid of this cold because the remedies, like, actually kill me more than the cold.
Well, just get more sleep.
I can't get any sleep.
Try.
Because the menfolk in my life can't seem to function on their own. I'd love it if they could all get up and get showered and feed themselves and get dressed and like figure out what they need to pack for their day by themselves. That would be lovely. I mean, one of them is an adult. The second one is close to being an adult. The third one, he can have a free pass because he's still a child. But like the other two, it shouldn't have to have someone say, eat something before you leave. Or, hey, put on pants. Like,
yeah.
Really?
That's good.
I think when you're 56 or 14, people shouldn't be telling you that you have to put on pants. That's just my opinion about the men.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I don't really want to get up at 4 a.m. to tell people to put on pants. Cause,
wow. 4 a.m. That's early. Why do you guys have to get up so early?
Because John does all the... he does all of his emailing in the morning because he doesn't have time when he gets back, and he's a slow emailer. And there's a whole bunch of stuff because they have to leave our house by 6 to get there.
Gee whiz.
So they don't always get up at 4. Sometimes they sleep in. Like today it was 5, but it's still...
That's
I can't...
intense.
Once everybody's up and moving around, I can't sleep. And then they're not getting ready, really. Mm-hmm. So I have to come and like monitor the getting readiness.
Wow.
Which is annoying to me.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm cranky and ill.
Oh, it's okay. I just can't think of what happened to me this week because I'm so focused on your issues here. Yeah. No,
I saw a really cool article that you might like, though. It's called the Lost Vermont Ski Areas. It's like ski areas that have like gone abandoned and just grown over. And I felt like you would like to go to them, you would like to.
That sounds good. Like what kind of ski areas?
Just in Vermont, like.
But downhill or cross country or
downhill,
both?
I think. Hang on, I saved it privately on my page. I should just send it to you. It was an article. Lost Vermont Ski Areas of Southern Vermont, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think there's one off Route 9. Like when you go up to the highest point.
Barton Valley View, Brighton Outing Club. That's an island pond.
Ooh.
Bristol, Brownell Mountain, Chamberlain Birch Outing Club.
Where's that?
Newport. Egan Farm in Underhill.
You just said Southern Vermont. That's not.
Yeah, I know.
This is Northern Vermont.
I don't know.
Okay, I will check that out.
Marshall Hill. Some just look kind of cool. Peachum Slopes.
Peachum Slopes.
Pinnacle Park.
Wow.
These are all just abandoned Vermont ski areas. Wildwood Valley, Wolf Run.
That's a lot.
Scottney is now one of them.
Okay. They might have their rope tow up this year.
I think they do, actually.
Yeah, I think it's open. Sometimes it's open,
Sabin
sometimes
Pastures.
it's not.
Pulsifer's Toe.
Sabin Pasture in Montpelier?
Yeah.
That's interesting. What kind of skiing?
I don't know. These.
You have to check it out.
They're ones that don't happen
I don't think
anymore.
they had a tow.
Look at, there's so many. It's like page. I had no idea we had this many.
That's exciting. We should start a club.
Lost ski areas.
Let's start a Lost Ski Areas club.
That would be really fun, actually.
It would be. We just need an excuse to have a club.
I know.
To invite our favorite people.
We kind of have a club, but it's
it's a
loose
club. But we don't see people in person. We just see them on the internet.
We should. You and I should actually do something this week because it's going to be a long, crummy-ish week. My kids are away this week.
Let's.
And I am. If I'm not like fevering and spewing germs on you. Anyway.
Okay. All right. Last week we had a little bit of an issue because we came down really hard on engineer hats. Remember?
But we didn't mean it. We don't mean anything that we say.
Well,
really.
we had a little bit too much fun with it at the expense of guys who are into model trains. It's like I understood what you were trying to say.
I know.
But I feel like it sort of swept in with it other people who just don't deserve to be kind of lumped in.
I think my grandpa used to wear a conductor hat, actually.
Yeah. I had a friend named Cody who had one, and he looked pretty good.
We were not saying that all people who wear conductor hats are bad. I just personally don't want to wear one. And there's a certain type of person sometimes that wear them.
I don't know. I don't know.
You think it goes all over the board?
I just think there's some really cool guys who wear these hats that are not necessarily into model trains.
That would.
I just think we'd be remiss
My grandpa was not into model trains.
Notice.
He wasn't. That was just his lawn mowing hat.
Look, I believe in fashion freedom, basically.
Me too, but I also believe in if we didn't make fun of things on this show, what would we talk about?
Yeah, make fun of me. Look at me, fashion freedom. There's
nothing to make fun of you about right now.
Well, but I have total fashion freedom.
Usually I can find something, but not at the moment. Although you do have your sweater rolled up above your elbows, which is kind of weird.
Sorry.
No, I don't care.
What do you... why? Because it scrunches up and makes a big mass of cloth?
No, I just find, like, if you're going to wear your sweater above your elbows, maybe you should just not wear a sweater. Like,
but I have two
maybe
sweaters.
Wear a T-shirt.
I have a T-shirt and two sweaters on right now.
Oh, my God.
That's where I come from. Oh. Yeah, so...
that's a good sweater. Is that another one of your dad's?
No. This, I think somebody gave me this. Oh, this is from a thrift store.
I think it's a North Face. What's on your little... Yeah, it is a North Face.
This is?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody gave me that.
They're good. Next to Patagonia, I think North Face has good politics. I can't remember. Probably not.
So just for the record, I'd like to say like one last thing about the engineer hats. Okay. The last thing I want to say about it is that from what I think is that they can be very appealing if they're worn by sincere individuals.
I can get on board with that.
Okay. There.
And I like the one that my grandpa used to wear on the lawnmower. It was kind of like sweat stained, and it was his lawn mowing hat. It had nothing to do with model trains.
Right.
And I shouldn't be so pissy about model trains.
Yeah. Right.
I just am like, I don't know. I guess everybody needs to have hobbies. Sometimes, though,
Do you have a hobby?
No, I don't know. Do I?
Think about it.
This is our hobby, kind of.
This is a hobby.
This is a hobby,
Yeah, this
right?
is kind of a hobby.
Other than that, I don't know, doodling little things or... No, I don't know. Most of my hobbies are...
You draw. You make cartoons with the animals, right?
Make cartoons with the animals.
Yeah. What else do you do? What other hobbies?
I don't know.
Eating cheese is kind of a hobby.
Yep.
What do you collect? Do you collect things?
I used to collect gnomes. I don't really anymore.
What kind of gnomes? Like ceramic?
Gnome figurines or just gnome stuff. Like I have gnome bed sheets and I have gnome pajamas.
Okay.
And stuff. I'm not so into that anymore. I don't know. What do you collect? You collect children's books.
Yeah.
You collect trolls, sort of.
Well,
or not anymore, but you still
really.
have your trolls.
Yeah.
You used to collect sugar packets, and your life was ruined when you threw them away.
Right. But I just saved stuff that I had already. That's not really collecting, except for children's books. I do collect because I try to find like nice old editions of things, so that's truly a collection. Yeah.
My kid and I were just reading Hansel and Gretel this weekend, and I realized that like my
that's
dogs
terrifying.
act out Hansel and Gretel like every day, except for it's like they're not the brother and sister. They're like my one female dog is like the evil stepmother, and she like when we're at home she likes the other dog a lot, and they play and they lay together and they are good friends. But whenever they go outside, and I've started to only let them out one at a time now because she takes him away. She takes him far away into the woods.
Oh.
And he's dumb, like he's really dumb, like he can't find his way out of a wet paper bag.
And then she comes back.
And then she scoots away fast when he's not looking and comes back to the house and he's lost.
I see.
And she does it all the time. And it's kind of like you can tell when she comes back all jaunty, like, haha, I lost my brother and now he's going to get in trouble.
Which is which?
Maeve is my fluffy girl dog and Brock is the big English Mastiff
So it's Brock
boy.
that gets lost?
Yes. Or she takes him way down to the neighbor's house and gets him like interested in something, like licking their grill. And then she runs back home again. And she's like, now he's going to get yelled at. You could totally read their little brains. Like it's like they have little...
I like your fake laugh. Can you do that again?
My dog, I know my dog fake laughs all the time. She has this big like lolling tongue like grin and you know she's laughing.
Yeah.
And poor Brock has no trail of breadcrumbs to get home, and he's just like sad until we go and find him.
That's
anyway.
That's heartwarming.
What tipped that story off? Oh, children's books, Hansel and Gretel. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
That story is so terrifying.
I know.
I could hardly read that to my
Although
kids.
I did love the illustrations always, and no matter what version you had, like. I used to dwell on the picture of that candy house.
It's so creepy.
It is creepy. And then the creepy little witch who's like fattening them up.
It's
to
creepy.
Eat them.
Even like,
and then they shove her in the fire. Spoiler alert, people.
That whole concept of leaving breadcrumbs through the forest. I've spent my whole life thinking about, every time I go in the woods, I think, should I be dropping breadcrumbs? I think now that I'm talking about it, it's kind of a strange...
That Netflix series, Stranger Things, the trooper who goes into the underground maze is always trying to drop cigarette butts to find his way around. But then the gross, like, vine devil dogs, whatever they are, just suck the cigarette butts in and he can't find his way anyhow.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm just saying there's lots of modern day versions of
that's an essential part of it because the breadcrumbs, in fact, can be picked up by birds.
Or mice or squirrels or anything.
That's the whole that's the scary concept.
It's a very temporary solution to a problem, people.
That's why surveyor's tape would work better.
Surveyor's tape would work.
And if you're skiing...
Although I do that when we're riding horses and we still always get lost because when we're blazing a new trail, I'll put along the tape and then we're like, oh, this isn't right. And we'll backtrack. And then I forget to take some of the tape down and then you get screwed up next time. But
need different colors for different
you need
trails.
Like the Indian like things on trees or the Irish cairns or whatever they're called.
That's what I like. I like cross country skiing on a sunny day, like on a clear day where it's not going to snow, because you know that if you get lost, you can just follow your tracks back. So I think it makes you be a little bit more adventurous. At least it does for me.
I don't get people who are always like, oh, well, you know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, so there you go. But it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know which way I don't know if my home is east from where I am or west.
Well,
it just doesn't help me. That's knowing the four corners or whatever of a compass doesn't help me. Don't know where anything is, so.
Okay.
All right. A compass would never help me. I could be out in the woods. I could find my way north, I guess, but I wouldn't know what was north, so.
Okay.
Like, what's over there?
Yeah. North
Pole.
Mm-hmm. And it's changing. Magnetic north is actually moving, so. Okay, so I'm going to play a song. This is called Night of the Wannabes.
Ooh.
And I believe this is Davy Davis. Let's see.
In the murk of the night when the sun sits down, zombies come out and paint the town. Caught up in the dreams of the lost and found, feeling like dogs let out of the pound. Looking for some paint to color their dreams, standing in the middle of a spotlight's beam. Wanna be thin and they wanna be pretty, wanna dance all night to the rhythm of the city. Oh, it's a night of the wannabes, chasing stars, social symmetry. Oh, the night feeds the fantasies. In the night of the wannabes. Wanna take the guitar right out of his hand, wanna be the leader of the rock and roll band. Wanna have this and they wanna be that. Everybody's wearing their Walter Mitty hat. Yeah, in the night of the wannabes, chasing stars, social symmetry. Oh, the night feeds the fantasies. In the night of the wannabes. Oh, in the night, they want to have power, they want to have money, they want to have religion, and they want to be funny. Oh, the night feeds the fantasies. In the night of the wannabes. Yes, it's a night of the wannabes.
Yeah. Thanks, Davis brothers and cousins who produce music.
Are they my cousins? I've not figured that out yet.
They could be. That
Davey,
song,
are
I
you
don't
guys
think
all
that song wasn't about fish. I don't think. I wasn't listening.
No, I wasn't
think
listening
it's
either,
about,
but I caught the very end and I didn't hear anything about fish.
Yeah, it was about wannabes.
Fish are kind of wannabes. I mean, we're fish.
Why? They want to be frogs? They want to have legs?
I think they used to have legs, right? And then they evolved to not. Or I think I read that fish and birds were like the same thing once, and then one evolved with gills and one evolved with wings.
Yeah, but everything's happening simultaneously. So the frogs are also tadpoles, are also fish, are also birds.
Since I wasn't feeling well last night, Ira and I were laying in bed, and Ira was just watching cute animal YouTube videos, because that's what we do when we don't feel good. And it was just like 15 minutes of clips of cute baby animals, and this cutest tiny little turtle came along, and like the size of a quarter in a little tank, and we were like, oh, that's so cute. And then all of a sudden it started gobbling tadpoles like there was no tomorrow. Oh. And we were like, oh, I didn't know. I guess I kind of knew they ate tadpoles, but it was like really vehemently gnawing on these tadpoles, and I felt really bad.
Oh, well, your kids grew up on a farm. I think they kind of understand how tough it can be for animals.
I guess. I just didn't expect this tiny, adorable, itty-bitty little turtle to just be like viciously tearing into these sad, innocent little tadpoles.
Isn't it funny that they say dog eat dog? Because dogs don't usually eat dogs.
They would, probably.
It's a dog eat dog
they're carnivores.
world.
They would eat a dead dog, probably, if it was around. No,
but if you had a choice of all your animals that ate other animals, but maybe it took dogs because they're so nice. So even nice things attack their own things, like humans.
Coyotes will attack and eat a dog, I think. So and they're kind of dogs.
Yeah, coyote eat dog world.
Pigs are the worst. Pigs will eat anything. In fact, apparently that's a good way to dispose of bodies, is just feed them to pigs.
You always talk about that.
I know.
It's like a recurrent theme for you.
I think I had a dream once where like my dream was sort of recreating that movie Fried Green Tomatoes, where they do feed bodies to the pigs, I think. No, maybe they cook them in a barbecue joint and then feed them to everyone in town. I can't remember, but it's something like that.
Isn't there something in like The Wizard of Oz? In the beginning, isn't there something about like there's pigs?
She falls. Dorothy, this is how she whacks her head, I think, and has the whole dream of Oz.
Gosh,
because she's walking on the fence over the pig pen and she falls in.
That's how it started.
And
for
the hired hands, which are really the Scarecrow and the Lion and the Tin Man, like get her out, I think.
Yeah.
And then they put her to bed because she fell into the pig pen and has like a concussion, and then she goes on her trippy Oz dream, and the house gets sucked up. And it's not against us anymore.
That's crazy. That's just so crazy. I don't know what to say.
All right. Well,
so we could talk.
Kristina was imaginarily burning sage in this studio before.
Well, I started waving my arms around to clear out what I felt was just the accumulated energy of all the various people who have been in the studio. And then she said, "Are you burning sage?" And I said, "Well, it's kind of like that." But then we started to have this discussion about sage. Like, was there validity to it?
I had heard that sage is not effective unless someone gives it to you. Like, you can't purchase sage.
You heard that from Wiccans. You said, a bunch of Wiccans.
Yeah.
A bunch of Wiccans. Where are those Wiccans?
In Tunbridge. Hello.
What? Tunbridge Wiccans?
There's so many Wiccans in Tunbridge.
What do you mean there's so many Wiccans in Tunbridge?
I was driving by my neighbor one time, and I was like, why are those people dressed in white and dancing in circles around their apple trees? And I was like, oh, well, all our neighbors are Wiccans, whatever. So... White Wiccans. Well,
okay.
That's what Wiccans are. Aren't they white witches or something? Well, they're just pagan, whatever. But I think one said that you can't... Here comes the train. Yeah. They didn't say that. They said you can't... Sage doesn't have any power unless someone gives it to you. And I just don't understand where all this boundless, gifted sage is coming from.
Okay, just listen to the train for a second.
And just cough while the train goes by.
Here we go.
Take my cough to a faraway land.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Now that you got that out of your system.
Woo! Yeah.
Anyway, I also said that it's the same deal with fortune cookies. A fortune cookie's fortune does not count unless someone else at the table hands it to you. You can't pick up your own fortune cookie. That's a rule. Mm-hmm. You should know all this.
Well, I do.
You are way more this way than me.
Yeah, you're not giving me a chance to weigh in on it.
All right.
Okay, so here's what I think, because this actually came up for me, is that I have a bunch of sage in my kitchen, sitting on my kitchen counter, that somebody gave me.
There you go.
That was obviously bought commercially at some point, because it was in a plastic bag.
Well, it doesn't matter if it's bought commercially. It's just that you can't buy it.
Well, that's
maybe there could be sage trading things, because would that count? Like, that way you can buy the sage and then you just trade it with somebody else.
But wait.
I don't know the rules. I don't know the Wiccan rules here.
Okay, I was going to give you like a real life experience.
All right.
So this isn't about Wiccan rules. This is not even Wiccan. This is about how the sage came to me.
All right.
And how I worked my way through my issues with my bunch of sage. Because it had certain evolution of coming into the house. And then she actually said to me, she said, well, are you going to use this? Because maybe you don't want it. And I said, no, I do. I very much do. But it sat in the kitchen for quite a long time. And then finally, one day I took it out of the plastic. And then it sat there. And it's had to sit in my kitchen, and I had to develop a relationship with it for a while. Well, and I didn't feel like
you need to sage your house.
Well, I didn't.
I mean, not very recently, anyhow.
I want to sometimes. I just want to, because I feel
like your house has good juju now. I feel like you got the bad juju out.
Right, but it's a plant. It's a plant that I have a relationship with. So sometimes I want to smell how it smells when it burns, and kind of have a relationship with the smoke.
What happens when you cook with it? Is there something with that?
Culinary sage.
That's just something different.
That's different.
Culinary sage isn't magic.
Well, I think all plants are magic.
What makes it magic, but not the kind in a little jar?
Your consciousness about how you're relating to it, I think, is.
I filled my house with smoke yesterday, but it wasn't very magic.
You don't have to cough into the microphone.
I know. I'm trying. I don't have the coordination to tip it at all the right times.
She's too tired to turn her head or cover her mouth when she's coughing. So
I don't get it. When I had newborn babies, I could go weeks on end without any sleep, and now I'm just enough older that I'm like, wow, I'm not getting any sleep, and I can't handle this.
Yeah, that indicates time for some sort of a long-range planning where something is going to shift for you. Like, you're going to start to do something a little bit differently, or think about your life in a different way. Because that's just a sign to you that something needs adjustment, really.
I know.
So it's exciting. I get excited. Like, when I have this realization that something isn't working, and I get the realization super strong.
Like your pelvic floor muscles when you sneeze, because that's no fun. I'm like, oh, something isn't working. No. You're old. I mean, anybody who has ever had a kid knows that, when you sneeze, you just pee a little. But, when you're sneezing and coughing and you're sick, it's like all your muscles are like, bleh, we're not helping you right now. So on top of feeling crappy, we're going to, play funny jokes on you so that when you sneeze or cough, you're just going to pee yourself. And that will be extra joy for you today.
Right.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Did I mention I probably have a fever? Okay. I'm not letting it go right now.
No, I was having a sort of an ecstatic reverie about
go back to ecstatically revering.
Well, it's just sometimes
I'll stop talking about pee.
When things get sort of bad, they get exaggerated, stuff just feels worse than it should be. If that's a great opportunity to just say, to let go of something with enthusiasm, say, you know what, I am ready to just push this thing off of me. It's like a weight, it's like a rock. And I sit and have planning sessions with myself. And really a planning session is about trying to locate in your imagination something that excites you and gives you a kind of a feeling of upliftment. And it's something I do. I practice it frequently. It's my way of adjusting my path through life, I
get very wallowy, and I have to stop. I find that I actually garner a little bit of satisfaction from wallowing sometimes. And that's totally weird, and I don't know why. I don't like it. And I'm generally a optimistic person, but as soon as the pendulum swings to like weird misery, my optimism just is choked. It's so weird, and I go the opposite way. And I don't think I'm bipolar or anything. I just think that I'm very susceptible to. I don't know, but I definitely wallow.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's bad. Didn't we talk about it?
Probably once.
Last week, I think we were talking about just getting down in there. But part of it is that you're trying to respect yourself. You know, you're trying to find justification for why you feel the way you do, which you shouldn't really have to do. Like, you should sort of, you want to feel this embrace. Like, it's okay. It's okay. It's like a maternal thing where you want to feel embraced, like whatever you feel is okay. But if you're just sort of trying to solve it by yourself, you have to be both the mother and the father. You have to embrace yourself.
I'm not good at taking care of myself.
Yeah, then you have to strategize your way forward. So, yeah, it's a parenting thing. It's a self-parenting.
It's odd. I have not been ever good at that. Oh, well. Hopefully.
maybe you're better than you think. Maybe you're better than
Probably
you think.
not.
Yeah.
Hey, today's Patrick Ross's birthday. I wanted to say happy birthday to him on his Facebook page, but I didn't realize that he's got it set up so no one could talk to him.
Oh, so he's a Pisces. Wow. Is that correct? Pisces?
I don't know.
That's
so I don't know these things.
That's so interesting.
You are the horoscope queen.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Pisces. That's the little two-fish one, right?
Two fish. Two fish.
Why are there two?
Two fish.
Why are there two fish?
I just read about that last year, but I forget what it is. It's something cool about two fish. Yeah, speaking of fish.
Oh my God, last weekend we went to Burke Mountain on Saturday, and there was a horrible, I've never seen this before, there was a horrible fight. What
kind of fight?
I went into the lodge a little bit earlier than John and the kids. They were still skiing, but we were going to ski the next day too, and I just wanted to save a little bit of legs because I still wasn't feeling very good. And I'm in the lodge, like kind of getting our stuff tidy for them to come in, and all of a sudden people start shouting, and I look outside in the lift line, and these guys are just like punching each other full out, like,
wow.
And then all these other guys come running, and and I thought, oh, there are other guys coming to like break up the fight. No, they all just get on in it like a movie, like a bar scene where everyone's punching. And then this other wacky kid picks up a ski and starts like machete chopping people like in the neck. Like, I was like, oh my God. One kid lost his teeth. It was horrible.
Really?
Yeah. I was
age
freaking
group?
Out. Late teenage.
Where were they from?
Some kids, I think, were from Massachusetts, and some kids were like local. And so there were some, my friend Brenna like ran out the emergency exit because she's crazy brave Amazonian woman, and she ran out to try to like break it up, and I was like, what are you doing? But like, it was some kid had cut off somebody else on the ski hill, and then when they got down to the bottom, like the out-of-staters just went at the local kids, and it was crazy.
Really?
It was terrifying.
So
I think the police came, but
you think the out-of-staters started it? Was that
it was kind of what it looked like? Is a bunch of really rich kids versus a bunch of like poor kind of local kids. Is kind of what it looked like. I mean, they were all equally at each other, but it was an interesting little kind of class war. It was like watching the West Side Story or something. It was really weird.
Jeez.
I just had never seen like a big brawl like that.
Right.
With like 10 people all punching each other.
Yeah. That's unusual.
I don't understand. Like, I feel like that would be such a confusing situation. Like, if you got that many people all like, how would you even know who to punch at that point? I always get confused when people play soccer and they don't have uniforms. Like, how do you even know who to pass it to? How do you know who's on your team? Like, how do you remember that stuff?
Right.
I feel like this was like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I don't know what that had to do with anything.
It's an interesting slice of life. And it's time for another song.
Oh.
Which is going to be Pete Sutherland.
Oh.
And it's a great song called In the Country of the Iroquois.
The fleur-de-lis of King Henri above the walls of Tadoussac was waving. Les voyageurs, knee-deep in furs, were drunk upon the docks and misbehaving. The big bateau did come and go, wide ocean, Gulf and river navigating, while swift canoes brought sober news from the country of the Iroquois. The Montagnais, the Huron braves, Champlain had won their trust in honest dealing. Algonquins too, in friendship drew, they hoped his dreams their future was revealing. With Pongreve he made parley concerning a commission soon expiring. That's one last chance for Nouvelle France in the country of the Iroquois. Iroquois and Shastagouin, the smoke rings of their council intertwining. This Frenchman bold, their stars foretold, his spirit is Orenda brightly shining, and he never ceased to talk of peace while war upon their enemy pursuing. With weapons fierce, their hearts to pierce, in the country of the Iroquois. Two phases of the moon above, Champlain, the land between, did go exploring. He set his traps, he drew his maps, while men and boats lay waiting at their mooring. And then by night, no stars to light the darkness, and with paddles scarcely sounding, on up the lake their course to make for the country of the Iroquois.
Dum 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 the dilly idle dum 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 the dilly idle dum dum the dilly idle dum 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 the dilly idle dum 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 the dilly
A morning light arose on the sight, a Mohawk host, a piney shore defending. The arquebus, it raised the dust, and in a flash proud chieftains met their ending. Above the shore, a muffled roar, the spirits on the mount are heard lamenting. All things are strange, the world has changed for the country of the Iroquois. Yes, all things are strange, the world has changed for the country of the Iroquois.
Thank you, Pete Sutherland. You know, you don't hear Jaws harp that much.
Jaws
we
harp?
featured some Jaws harp.
Mouth harp?
Yep.
Jaw.
Yep. So we have to do this on-air fundraising in March. So I thought...
Is it next week or the week after?
I think it's a week after, but people are going to call into the show to contribute, to become members of WFVR. So what I thought we should do
have phone phobia.
What I thought we should do first is we should, while we're on the show, we should call in and become members ourselves. Because if you're like me, I let my membership lapse.
I did too.
So we should be the first
How are we going to be slacker DJs if we don't, if we renew our membership? That would be a step away from being a slacker DJ.
No, I can think of ways to be slacker DJs. We have plenty. Yeah. Let me count the ways.
I guess there's plenty left. True.
Yeah, this would just be kind of a helpful contribution that we could make to our radio station.
This is very true, Chris.
Yeah. So I do have a
I'm not dead by then.
A vocabulary word for you.
Okay.
So you're going to get a break from coughing. So you can try spelling this if you want, but it's really what I think is more important is that you learn what the word means. Because
how do you know I don't already know it?
Okay, let's try. Yeah.
Okay, go.
Alexithymia.
Oh God.
Alexithymia.
Is it a drug? Is it what happens when you have that little thing that talks to you in your house? Alexa.
What? Oh, no. Alexithymia.
Is it a gland?
No.
Is it a Greek island?
No. These are all very good guesses. Can you spell it?
I just did it like it's...
What?
Alexi. No.
Yeah.
I.
Thymia.
I put an A in there. I don't think there probably is one.
No, it's not Alexa. It's Alexa.
Okay. Alexithymia.
Yeah, good. So you spelled it great.
Well, I just have to cross out.
I don't think you're going to guess what it is.
It's not a gland or a Greek island or a. I don't know.
Okay. It's emotional blindness. It's a condition that affects 10%.
Isn't that the same
of
as
the population?
There's lots of personality disorders that have that.
Yeah, but this is one unto itself, which describes the.
Do you mean like autism, or do you mean like narcissism?
No, it describes the difficulty of people to perceive and describe emotions of others and themselves.
That just seems like autism.
No, not at all. No, this is like people in your life,
sociopaths.
Yeah, it's more kind of in that category.
Haven't got the empathy or aren't able to experience emotion or recognize it in others.
Right,
I believe.
Right. So I think that's pretty interesting.
It's like they have a lot of different subcategories for all this.
I know they do because it's endemic in our society. We've got a lot of this psychopathy and sociopathy and stuff like that going on.
Every other meme on Facebook lately is, I don't know if it's just because I'm more aware since I've had that in my life, but it's like every other meme is about narcissists. And I'm like, Am I just noticing that more now because I've experienced people like that? Or is it just like a fad? Is everyone who's mad at anyone just calling them a narcissist?
What do you think?
I don't know. Like, I know I've experienced a true person with a personality disorder.
Yeah.
I would describe it as far beyond narcissism, like an actual mental illness, not just I don't know. Narcissism in my head is just like, you're kind of just a dick, you know? Whereas I feel like if you push it to another level where the person has an actual, like, full-blown mental illness and personality disorder.
Well, it's called...
And it goes into the sociopathy. But online, it's like they're interchangeable, and I'm not really sure that that's true, but I don't...
Right, there's
I
people...
Don't know, for real.
I think what it is that there's people who are narcissistic, and then there's people with narcissistic personality disorder.
Right.
So there is a difference.
And I think, like, environmentally, like, people who have maybe raised to be very entitled can just be narcissists without meaning to be, and then there's that actual chemical, I don't know. But then it's funny because you look at those as being very, very negative, and then it also describes like a lot of people with autism, and yet you don't think of those same attributes as being as negative with a person with autism, because they also can't often, I mean, depending on what brand.
Yeah, that's I think there's just a processing difficulty.
God, it must be so complicated to diagnose these things. I can't imagine being a psychiatrist, psychologist. What's the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist, by the way?
Yeah, one can prescribe drugs. One's a doctor. Psychiatrist can prescribe drugs, I think.
What?
But don't you wonder, like, why there's so much of this stuff going on?
No, I think
because that's really the important question for us to ask is why
super chemically imbalanced.
Yeah, that's definitely true. It's very polluted.
Yeah, well, just other things. Even people who don't believe that the world is evolving that way, even like our pediatricians have said for years, like there aren't any children being born anymore without like some form of respiratory problems just because of the air. So if it's affecting other organs, it's totally affecting our brains. It's got to be. It's got to be. I mean, this is not their opinion. This is like every kid has a mild form of asthma. Like they all do now. They're not being born without it because it's just, if the chemicals and stuff in the world are affecting that, of course it's affecting other parts of your body.
Right.
It's just terrible.
Well, we have a lot of work to do to try to combat this situation. That's all I have to say. You can text me privately if you want to know what I'm doing. I have lots of strategies I'm trying to employ.
It's so funny. Since I've been paying more attention to politics, which I've always paid attention to it, but I don't talk about it very openly because, especially not online, because I just have never found that there was much gratification in fighting with people online, because I'm a really open-minded person, actually, and I've never had my mind changed by somebody arguing with me about something online, ever. Like, ever. If you believe something, you just believe something, and someone arguing with you almost reinforced your beliefs because you
get defensive.
You just dig in your heels and you feel attacked, and then you're trying to like put yourself back on top, and so you almost over exaggerate your beliefs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't think that there's a lot of progress to be made with fighting with people online about politics. But I was laughing because there's, all kinds of new bills always being introduced, and one is, other states have gotten rid of, they've made it illegal to give people plastic bags at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right on, that's fine. Like you can look at any picture of the ocean and just see them floating everywhere in the ocean, animals all tangled up in bad stuff. Like just the disposable one-use plastic things. It's not just straws. Like everyone's making fun of everybody for stopping to use straws. It's not like straws are destroying the world, but it's just the fact that we are so into disposables. It would not be a big deal. It would be no big deal at all to not have plastic bags. But the fights about that, like these guys online are basically acting like you are tearing out their heart by not letting them have plastic bags.
You've heard of trolls, right? That's what trolls are, because some of these corporate interests...
What the heck was that? See, this is why there shouldn't be a daycare down there. Did you hear that? It was like a...
Yeah.
It was like a...
That happens at my house all the time.
Ice and snow just went piling off the roof down into the daycare yard.
Back to where I was.
Oh, yeah.
Is that there's corporate interests who employ trolls to go in and create a lot of divisiveness.
Some of them are people that I know, and I'm like, I know you're not a troll, and I know that you would rather die than have to bring your own bag to a grocery store, because that's just it's just
silly.
Ruining your civil liberties.
It's silly.
You want to be able to have the right to just wreck everything. That's like your right as an American citizen to wreck things.
I don't know.
That seems to be what they're saying, and I'm like, really?
I don't know. It's so silly.
It's no big deal, guys. It's not going to take away, it's not, I don't know.
I think there's bigger problems, actually. It's like, it's a question of
citing the Constitution sort of about the plastic bag rights, and I'm like,
yeah. I mean, I think it's fine for people to fight these little battles. but it's kind of a much bigger problem.
Yeah, no,
so
there is.
you have to decide how much energy am I going to put into this one particular little problem.
I know.
As opposed to kind of taking the big picture.
The kind of anger that plastic bags of all things. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just
saying,
like,
there are bigger things to fight about.
But
they're so angry, like they're ready to like cut people out of their lives for having a different opinion on plastic bags. What?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get a word in edgewise.
You have to do that with me.
Yeah, it's just, in your own relationships, how sometimes the smallest, stupidest thing creates an argument, and that's basically the model that we're working with here, is that it doesn't matter so much what it is, it's just people are kind of on edge.
Yeah,
and
I think people are really wanting to fight right now.
Well, except they're wanting society to improve itself, and so that we have a more humane existence. And people just are a little bit clueless about how to contribute positively to that, because it seems like the problems are too big almost to handle. So I can understand people just being stupid online.
I just feel like it's so out of control if one acquaintance is going to yell effing libtard at another who posts like that maybe we shouldn't use plastic bags anymore. And I'm like,
sure.
Really? You're that angry? Why are you guys all so angry? Like that's just...
Well, there's a certain amount of people
about, like,
are just going to be
something that
angry. I think you just have to unplug from these toxic interactions and basically, kind of move.
But that scares me. I mean, if they're that angry about something, I know it's not a little thing. It's not little. Like, the world is going to crap.
Yeah.
But if they're ready to cut completely people that they've always liked out of their life because they say that maybe we should stop using plastic bags.
But it's not your problem.
I'm just shocked at
I know. It's indicative of how screwed up society is.
It's weird. It scares me.
But we still have free agency. And so we can do good things, and we can unplug from crap like that. So we should be thankful.
It just always makes me look at certain people in a different way, especially when I don't get where their anger is coming from.
Right.
I don't get it. And if they're holding that anger, like, who knows where it's going to flare up next?
I think you know where it's going.
Yeah, I know. I do.
Yeah. Okay. We gotta sign off our show.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Which we never introduced, by the way.
Yeah, so go ahead and tell us
to the coughing
what the show
Emily,
we had.
Howe, and Kristina Stykos, and we come to you live every Friday, usually not coughing up a storm, but on Royalton Community Radio, WFVR LP. Our show is 11th Hour Radio. You can find us online at 11thhourradio.com, or you subscribe and pick up our podcasts on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and some other place that I forgot right now. And we thank our sponsors and underwriters because they're awesome, and we never have time to even actually say anything about them, which is really jerky of us, but we are the jerkiest DJs who work here. So.
Okay, so we're gonna go out on a song called "Odd Man Out" by Elric Walker, and we'll see you.
I like that name.
It's a great name, great guy. So we'll see you next week.
We will.
Thanks
see
for
you guys
listening.
Next Friday. Have a great week.
When the streets are full of violence, when the land is full of lies, when a good man can still walk abroad, but only in disguise, when the truth is like a bad dream that no one ever talks about. You'll find it's easy to get lonely when you're the odd man out. When no one seems to know you, when every face is hard, when there's footsteps in the hallway, hound dogs barking in the yard, when your back is to the wall, you hear the madman shout. You'll be guilty till proven innocent when you're the odd man out. When your heart is bruised and broken, when you cry unceasing tears, when the warnings that you've spoken have fallen on deaf ears when the ones you come to love dismiss you with a pout. You'll have to carry your own cross when you're the odd man out. It's hard to find a helping hand in the valley of the damned. Oh, your faith will come and go. And if your love should be waylaid and your confidence betrayed, you'll be the last one to know. When the saints are all in prison, when the devil wears the crown, when there's guards at every exit and there's no way out of town, when all the decks are stacked but the outcome is still in doubt,